Alright. How's it going, everyone? Actually, live is Twitch having an aneurysm? Hang on, refresh it. Oh, no, there it goes. Okay. Alright, welcome back to another event archival. Since this is a longer running event, it's kind of split into 3 story portions. So I don't know if I'm going to do all 3 right now. Probably not. But I definitely will be doing all of it before the end of the event for sure. As for doing 3 separate streams for the 3 parts, I don't know. I guess it depends on how long it takes to go through one, so we'll see. I also don't know if these are voiced or not. Huh, I guess we'll find out. I'm gonna assume not. Sorry, am I late, Commander? I've just arrived too. I was the one who asked if you could help me sort through my neural data, yet I ended up being late. I hope you won't be upset because of this, Commander. Stop acting so overly dramatic, Belka. You don't need to talk like that around me. I can't hide anything from you after all, Commander. But you know what? Sweet talking like that was exactly how I got Big Sis to accept me into the team. Such as... When we finally met after so many years, she instantly pinned me to the ground and even held me at gunpoint as if I were an enemy. That doesn't sound like a good start. I had to jump through so many hoops to find 404's secret base. I guess it was fair for Big Sis to mistake me for an intruder. Anyway, when I finally saw her, I immediately threw myself into her arms and cried like a baby. Then I recounted all of the tragic backstories I had to go through. Vagrancy, displacement, no friends, no companions, and so Big Sis took me in as an intern. Seems that your promotion went smoothly. Maybe? Because I actually got gravely injured during a later mission, which made me look even more sympathetic. Fortunately, Big Sis saved me and truly accepted me. I'm not sure if that counts as going smoothly, but I was certainly very pitiable. I can see the gist. Though I suppose these little tricks are no longer of use after you've been officially accepted into the team. It's not entirely true. Big Sis isn't a heartless doll, after all. Even if the tricks fail, my very real and sincere emotions can still move her. Just take a good look at the results in my neural records, Commander. Alright. Time's precious, so let's get started. Data transmission normal. Neural recollection activated. Good work, Bielka. That's of course. I've grown over the years, after all. I see, but do not let your guard down. I know, Commander. Alright, who am I dragging in? I'm gonna swap Arena for Tolo, I think. Yes. I keep Team Water going. I have gotten... I just pulled her earlier, so... But Electric isn't exactly full entirely yet. And I didn't end up getting Bielko. I'll have to try for her on a rerun, I guess. Anyway, let's go. Mop the floor. With the enemies. Yeah, it's frustrating. I planned on getting around to streaming the earlier parts sooner, but things just were not panning out every time I was going to do so. Not to mention, you know, Borderlands 4 came out. Silent Hill F came out. Did that a little bit earlier today. See? I did complete the commander's orders perfectly. If you want to compliment me, Commander, I'll need to first make sure Big Sis is here to hear it too. Your frame's outstanding performance played a big part in how smoothly the data sorting went. That's a compliment, right? You just complimented me, Commander. Does that also mean I'm becoming more and more like Big Sis? I've always wanted to become a super elite doll like her. Is that why you joined 404? Out of your admiration for Klukai? Of course the commander would have guessed that. It's only that, despite Big Sis accepting me into the team, I felt like I was never part of it for the longest of times. Was it because I was the last to join? It always felt like Big Sis Klukai was much colder towards me than all the other members. I don't think that's the reason. As such, I started by following Big Sis everywhere she went just so I could stay close by her side. I even penned a Klukai observation report. Fancy a look, Commander? I'll pass. Besides, doing so will only push her further away from you. Eh? Really? No way. Stop following me around everywhere I go. Are you and Mallard still in the imprinting phase or what? See how Big Sis gave me such a cute nickname? I feel like the quote marks are... Yeah. Never mind. Let's keep going. I'm starting to wonder if your relationship ever improved. Alright then. If you say so, Commander, then let's see for yourself. Ugh. What's wrong? I just remembered something that happened when I first joined Squad 404. I got too impatient during a mission and ended up messing up several times. Not only did I fail to help Big Sis, I also dragged her down. What a terrible memory. But things are different right now. Now, right, Bielka? Of course. Remember to praise me if I do things right, okay, Commander? I feel like I'm, like, flying through this, like... I might do part 2 as well, if that's the case. These are different enemies, or... I feel like I've seen them before, but maybe they're new. If I have seen them before, it was in like some very specific thing. There's not any of those here, so... This is strange to me. Because I am on story, so... Well, there wouldn't be any cutscenes if it was the supply missions. What's the matter, Commander? I've always wanted to ask, why is your attitude towards Michi completely different than everyone else? I mean, just look at her. She's a lazy, good-for-nothing freeloader who causes Big Sis so much trouble, yet still gets all her special attention. I don't think that's what Michi set out to do. Fine, I'll admit it. I am a little jealous of her. Just a little. Even though Big Sis would never admit it, I've always treated her as the most important family member in my life, you know? Why can't I be that special companion? Why can't I be the first one that comes to her mind? Why is Big Sis always acting so distant from me? I want her special attention too. Isn't this par for the course for all little sisters? Bielka, it's totally normal for you to admire Klukai. Getting overly obsessed is detrimental to you and your neural cloud. I get it, Commander, but I just don't want to be separated from my family. If thinking about it this way makes you feel better, maybe it's actually a sign that Klukai trusts you so much. She doesn't feel the need to watch over you like she does the more problematic members. Eh? That's how you see it? Never thought of that possibility. No wonder you're the commander. If you keep being so considerate, I might end up falling for you, Commander. Of course, I do like you a lot already. Thanks, but I'll pass on that. I don't think I can handle it any better than Klukai. Since you're still in the mood to joke around, that must mean we can continue sorting. Of course. I can continue at any time, as long as you're ready. Yeah, at this rate, I definitely will be doing part 2 because this is already almost done, so I'll do the supply missions later. It's hard to come by you getting so upset and throwing a tantrum. I almost forgot you were capable of these emotions. I know where you are going with that, Commander. It's also what I've been worrying about. Losing my temper and making a big fuss like that to vent out all my frustrations is not cute at all. I also don't want everyone to see me like that. Are you saying your usual lively and cheerful demeanor was just an act? Not exactly, but even I can feel down and sad at times. It's just that those moments don't usually last for long. If I wanted something, I'd fight to get it right now and never let worries drag into the next day. That's one of my greatest virtues. That being said, don't you dare take advantage of that and give me the cold shoulder, Commander. Otherwise, I will get upset. Commander, please promise me that, okay? Looking at Bielka's pitiable expression, I can't help but marvel at the expressiveness of her facial expression module. Of course, a well-behaved girl should be rewarded. I'm sure Klukai also understands this fact now after being made aware of your true feelings. At least from what I know of her, she's not the kind of doll who would turn a blind eye to such things. You guessed it right, Commander. Big Sis may look stone cold on the outside. She's always been incredibly gentle and loving inside. So even if I might get a little upset, I won't actually blame her. Let's keep going, Commander. You should really experience that part for yourself. Ooh, you're such a bully, Commander. I'm indeed an exceptionally capable elite doll full of vigor, but you still shouldn't be teasing me like this. There are 3 elite enemy units ahead. 3! Don't worry. According to predictions from sorted prior data, an adequate challenge will help you unlock your full potential. Plus, Klukai specifically informed me that Bialka could easily win against these odds. That's right. Be sure to pay close attention to my gracefulness in combat, Commander. Not so much for the elite units. Commander, why am I the only one here this time? Do not worry. This is a good opportunity to test your skills in stealth. There's an overwhelming number of enemies, but they have holes in their defense. Lukai did train you in the skills needed to deal with this, right? Of course. I'll transmit the battlefield data to you in a bit. I believe that with your analysis and judgment abilities, it's best to complete the mission by exploiting their blind spots. I'll help you too, so don't worry. I understand, Commander. I want to be an elite doll like Big Sis, so I'll do my best to achieve that goal. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, so I don't really know anything about her skills. We have something that lets her move extra. In the skill selects an empty tile with an 6 charge towards it. Seven in the vault. Oh. Yeah, 6 maybe on. The attack kills the enemy target. Bielka gains its concealment. Just go here. See, the thing I'm not certain about is I think none of them are actually aggroed, right? Correct. And here I was thinking I needed to do some fancy shenanigans with the skill, but all done. The sorting is complete. Alpha. I'll cry. I know you must have felt really wronged and hurt at the time, but the misunderstanding between you two has already been resolved. Seeing us embrace each other again still brings me to tears. Big Sis Klukai is so lovely. I want to become a doll like Big Sis too. Commander. What is it? Since you know so much about Big Sis, you must know how to do it, right? Please spend more time with Bielka and teach me, Commander. Alright, I promise. But you have to let go of me first. I can't breathe with how tight you're hugging me, not to mention how humid the air in the room already is. Despite saying so, you didn't even try to push me away. You actually care about me in secret, Commander? Well, I suppose you wouldn't help me sort through my neural records otherwise. I see the Commander does care about me. Lukai and I aren't the only ones who care about you. Then you should stop rejecting my affection. Deep down, I've always been scared. Scared of being disliked and abandoned. Scared of losing the family I finally got back. Scared of being left all alone. Which is why I kept following in Big Sis' footsteps. Not just because I admire her, but also to learn from her and better myself. Also, I can keep up with her. But for the longest of times, I felt I was doing nothing but growing further and further away from her, which made me feel even more lonely. Yelka looks a little gloomy. It turns out she also experienced this kind of uneasiness. Do you still feel that way? If you promise me that you'll never abandon me, then perhaps I might feel better. Although Bielka flashes a smile of triumph for a brief instant, I can't tell if that moment was part of her usual scheming. Let me tell you a secret, Commander. You're the only one I'm telling this to. Not even Big Sis Klukai knows about this. I've been very grateful that 404 came to the Elmo. Now I have a new family member. That's you, Commander. You are now a precious part of my family. So, please promise me that. I am all you need, Commander, okay? Stop imitating Klukai. Well, you're the only one I can count on besides Big Sis, Commander. Please, Commander, pretty please. Now that you're the only one to know everything about me, if you still find me cute, would you please let me stay at your side forever? Just as I thought. This is also how you got Klukai back then, isn't it? I'd say it's at least a little different. It's an advanced version of pestering, specifically to deal with the Commander. Fine, I promise. Yeah. How about this instead? Let's set today as our anniversary, Commander. That way I can prepare a gift for you on this day next year. Will you also prepare something to surprise me, Commander? Bielka's eyes sparkle with sincerity and a hint of mischief, revealing as much of her enthusiasm as her little schemes. It's like a spell being cast on me, leaving me with no choice but to nod. But a well-behaved girl deserves to be rewarded, and she doesn't ask for much, so let's keep this bright smile going. Feels bad as she's the only one that I missed. Well, that's what happens when you mostly stuck free to play. Okay, that's why they're doing this again. Okay. I felt like it was too quick. Well, now I've kind of done things out of order. That's unfortunate. Alright, well. I guess a lot of reading ahead. Beep. The projector in the meeting room dims. The doll standing at the front lowers the remote in her hand and stares at the other three. That's it for today's debriefing. Good job, everyone. There will be no group activities for the rest of the day, so take this opportunity to get some rest. Remember, training is scheduled for early tomorrow morning. Alright, then. Guess I'll just... Mikti immediately leans back in her chair and falls asleep within seconds. And Doris chuckles and gives her a gentle pat on the head. Lukai lets out a huff in Mikti's hopeless figure. Never motivated at all during training, yet always the first to slack off. Hearing that, Bielka jumps out of her chair and runs up to Lukai with her hand raised. I'm motivated, big sis. Let's go training, shall we? Unless we're counting this commission, it's been ages since we last trained together. Besides, we just highlighted lots of my shortcomings during the debriefing. I can certainly improve upon them much more effectively if Big Sis is there to instruct me. Well, it's a good thing that you're this motivated. I need to see Vector today, so I don't have the time. Eh? Why? Between me and Vector, I'm obviously more important. What does any of this have to do with who's more important? Team B will be out for a mission tomorrow. Tonight's the only time when both Vector and I are available. With Team B now on the right track, I can't wait to see Leva's reaction during our next communication. As Glukai heads out, she notices Bielka following tightly behind her. Confused, she halts her step and looks back. Bielka also stops obediently. Well, if you're occupied, we can call it a night here, Big Sis. But in that case, promise you'll train with me tomorrow. There's a team training scheduled for tomorrow anyway. We'll see once we conduct practical training. Lukai leaves the meeting room. Bielka stomps in frustration as she watches Lukai's shrinking silhouette. Why can't I be Team B's leader? Why can't they just make their own mission plan and stop bothering Big Sis? You want to be Team B's leader, Bielka? No. I was talking about the mission plan. If you're talking about Team B's mission plan, it needs to be drafted with the specifics of the commission in mind. For example, the route of several missions Team B has taken recently happens to pass by our base. Not only can they stop by for a rest, but we will also have some joint training sessions with them. Huh? Team B came over? Yes. I happen to have a recent mission plan from Team B on hand. You should take a look at it if you want to know more, Bielka. Before Bielka can answer, Andorus has already sent her the entire package. Torrents of data gush into Bielka's neural cloud and clog up her processing thread. Feeling the excess heat produced by her core going into overdrive, Bielka rushes out of the meeting room. I'll go to Rushi since Team B's here. I'll check the document later. Bielka hums as she skips across the hallways, heading towards Team B's rest area. I haven't seen Rushi for a long time. I wonder if the idea I gave her last time worked out or not. In any case, building a friendship is no easy task. You need to comfort her nicely. The door to the rest area is open, and Rushia's silhouette can be spotted from far away, along with her and Vector's voice. After a moment's hesitation, Bielka sneaks up to the door and increases the gain on her audio module. Just try it out, Vivi. It's a limited edition. It was quite a hassle for me to get it from the underground brokers. I'm sure it'll look so cute on you, Vivi. I think I'll pass. It'd be a waste to give such a cute thing to me. No, it won't. See how it matches perfectly with your hair color? Come on, Vivi, just give it a try. Well, you insist. Okay, it's on. See how cute you look? I knew it would look great on you, Vivi. It was worth pre-ordering it as soon as it became available. You should wear this during your meeting later, Vivi. Wouldn't that be unprofessional? No way. Well, it's okay if you don't want to wear it if you find it awkward. After all, you look cute either way, Vivi. Really? Of course. Wasn't that obvious? Judging by the sound, Ruche is pacing back and forth restlessly in the room. Don't get me started on that. That client of the last commission was so out of touch. He only pointed out all the potential worst-case scenarios because you were in charge and being responsible. How dare he question your attitude? We should have Klukai blacklisted that PMC guy. There's no way we're taking another commission from him ever again. It's okay. I'm used to it. Besides, you already stood up for me back then. The client only calmed down thanks to you. Then I guess I'll pardon that guy since you said so. Speaking of which, remember the fashion store we passed by during our last outing, Vivi? Their storefront was so stylish. Which one? I don't remember. I took a photo. Give me a second. The cheerful chatter between Ruche and Vector continues from their rest area. Bielka crouches outside the door for a moment before quietly standing up and leaving. Ruche and Vector. Looks like they've gotten closer. Never mind. After leaving the rest area, Bielka wanders aimlessly around the base, grumbling and complaining as she does so. Seriously? What happened between Ruche and Vector? Those of us in Team A just went on a mission, albeit the mission might have been a long one, but how are they behaving completely different now? Shouldn't Ruche be worrying about not getting along with Vector? Damn it. Ruche and Vector's relationship used to be just like mine and Big Sis. How come it's suddenly just me? Bielka furiously kicks the supply container lying in the hallway. I'm the only one chasing after Big Sis like a fool. All upset, Bielka stands idly for a moment before bending down and clutching her head in dismay. Screw this. What should I even do? Damn it, damn it, damn it. How did Ruche do that? How can I get closer to Big Sis? Oh my. Suddenly, Andoris' voice can be heard from behind. Before Bielka can turn around, Andoris walks over and crouches in front of her with a smile. What's the matter, Bielka? Didn't you say you were going to Ruche? What are you doing here alone? Did you two get into an argument? It's not that. I'm just upset because I didn't get to train with Big Sis. Say, Andoris, I've been part of 404 for so long, so how come my relationship with Big Sis hasn't improved at all? Even Ruche and Vector are getting along now. I have no idea how she managed to... Seemingly reminded of something all of a sudden, Bielka remains in her crouched position while she inches toward Andoris and leans into her ear. You've been following Big Sis all these years, right, Andoris? Surely you have some way to improve me... help me improve our sisterly relationship. Give me a moment. Searching for related information. Andoris keeps smiling but stops moving otherwise. Andoris? Andoris? A warm smile remains on Andoris' face, but she offers no answer. Forget it. I'll stop bothering you. I'll just look it up myself. Found something. There's a lot of tangential data, but not much is left after sifting through them. But please go ahead. Best ways to strengthen bonds with family and friends. Traveling together is the top pick. Cooking meals that the others enjoy is also a good idea. Other recommendations include inviting them out to dinner or celebrating memorable occasions together to bring back fond memories. Traveling is a no-go, nor is food that big a deal for us dolls. Sounds like only the last one could work. Memorable occasions. It's gotta be that day, then. Yep. Soon it'll be the anniversary of me joining 404, which also makes it Sisters Reunion Day, between me and Big Sis Glukai. I'm such a genius. Thank you, Endoros. I'll go make preparations now. Now, before Endoros can finish, Bielka has already excitedly jumped up and rushed off. Still crouched in place, Endoros blinks. No need to thank me. Already regretting not doing this in the right order. Because these definitely unlocked after the specific battle quest. Oh well, I'll at least remember for part 2, which, just judging from the length of that first one, probably I'm not going to get to now. But it's fine. I'll probably try to get the streams kind of pumped out. A few days later, outside the maintenance room. As soon as the door opens, Bielka pulls Endoros in with her excitedly. Bielka, wait. Dear? Dear, where are all the custom motorbike parts that just got delivered? Let me see them. Dear's busy adjusting something at the repair table, but he pauses his task upon hearing Bielka. He retrieves a large box from behind him and places it onto the table. Here, all the parts you ordered. I checked them for you. They're all good. Take a look yourself. Surprises, presents. Anniversaries are all about them. Gifts for Big Sis. Bielka hops over to the table, and right as she opens the cardboard box, she suddenly hears Mikti's voice behind her. Dear, remember when I asked you to bring over the... Huh? Why are so many people here? Mikti? Why are you here? Mikti glances warily at the box of anime figures behind Deer, making sure that Bielka has yet to notice it. I just happened to walk by. Really? Of course. I was just gonna ask what's the gift you asked Deer to bring you. I heard something about an anniversary. While doing her best to change the subject, Mikti shoots a glance at Deer, signaling at him to hide the box of anime figures he had smuggled in more carefully. How could you eavesdrop on me? Who's eavesdropping on you? You're the one being obnoxiously loud. If everything's good, I'll head back to sleep now. Please wait a second, Mikti. Compared to me, we have a doll even more familiar with Leader here. Are you sure you don't want to consult her opinions, Bielka? But who needs her opinions anyway? Mikti will only mess things up. I think Andoris is onto something. Look at how Klukai has put up with her all these years. She must have something going on that we don't know about. What are you guys even talking about? Fine. I'll ask her. So you want to celebrate the anniversary of you joining 404 with Klukai? That's Sister's Reunion Day. Whatever you call it. But if you're going to Klukai directly with that plan of an anniversary party or something, she's definitely going to outright shut you down. You know how prickly she can be. Unless... Never mind. Just go to her as you usually do. Though you might want to change the name. But I doubt the outcome will be any different. So I just need to pester her until she agrees? Gotcha. I'm an expert at that. Whoa. First time I've seen someone say that with such a straight face. What do you know? What do you know? It takes determination to get close to Big Sis Klukai. I can't elaborate further. Anyway, you have to keep this a secret, or I won't be able to give Big Sis a surprise. You dare slip up, I'll... Bielka quickly stares in the direction of Deer. What now? Thought I wouldn't notice, huh? You little smugglers. Well, we could talk this out. More like, you shouldn't talk when you're not supposed to. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that Big Sis won't accidentally discover your figurines. In that case, Bielka, who helped Big Sis uncover Mikti's contraband, will certainly be rewarded. Okay, I swear, as long as Klukai doesn't string me upside down on a target and puts 9 magazines into me, I will keep my mouth shut. There you go. I've only got a few days left. I need to hurry up and get the gift ready. Let me see. Custom parts. Bielka excitedly rushes toward the cardboard box on the table. After another routine training session. That's it for today's training. Good job, everyone. You are free for the rest of the day. Remember to treat tomorrow's commission seriously. Moments after Klukai's announcement, Bielka immediately makes a 180-degree turn and is about to leave. It's not the first time she's done this. Recently, be it after a training or a debriefing session, Bielka would depart the moment she's dismissed instead of pestering Klukai as she usually does. Bielka, you stay here. Forced to stop, Bielka smiles awkwardly at Klukai. Big Sis, is anything wrong? Do you want to train together? Yeah, I happen to be free today. Huh? Right. I mean, with Big Sis's instructions, I can certainly improve a great deal. Bielka reveals a troubled expression, gritting her teeth while glancing at the clock. Only 10 minutes left before the delivery time she agreed upon with the underground broker. As for the package, there are more accessories for the motorbike, naturally prepared for the sisters' reunion day. It's not every day that Big Sis has the time to train with me, but we've got something on hand. Klukai closes in on Bielka. Suddenly, Bielka's communication terminal starts ringing at an untimely moment. Bielka hurriedly hangs up the call. She glances at Klukai with a worried look, but the latter doesn't even bother to look at the comms interface and simply stares at Bielka with a scrutinizing gaze. It's nothing important. It's okay if I don't answer the call. Are you sure about that? I bet the underground brokers you got in touch with recently are impatiently waiting for your answer. No way. I still have time. Wait. Hold on. Eh? Broker? What broker? What are you talking about, big sis? Kukai size. Haven't you been going to brokers whenever you're free recently? Can't even spot your shadow during break time. Not to mention using every trick in the book just to pry more bike-related information out of me. Now, tell me, what are you planning behind my back? Bielka nibbles on her lower lip, thinking that her carefully planned surprise has already been spoiled. Fortunately, the anniversary is only a few days away, so telling Kukai everything at this point won't be that much of a problem. Bielka is completely unaware of her constantly shifting, troubled expression. Even Kukai begins to wonder if she had been too harsh to Bielka. You know, the 404 doesn't completely prohibit you from ordering. Just as Kukai is about to comfort her, Bielka beats her to the punch with her exclamation. So, big sis Kukai, I want to celebrate our reunion together as sisters. For that, I've been preparing a gift. I decline. Eh? I haven't even told you what I had planned for our anniversary yet. Please, at least listen to what I've prepared. Put a lot of time and effort into this. So that's what you've been up to. I see. Looks like you clearly haven't been allocated enough training. Anyway, request denied. Don't even think about it. Sis, well, please don't go. We have a commission to accomplish tomorrow. You should get your maintenance done sooner rather than later. As much as it pains her, Klukai pries Bielka's shaking hands off her arm and turns to leave the training room. Ix's resolute rejection was so cool, but isn't this exactly what Mikti said would happen? Although, never mind, just go to her as you usually do, though you might want to change the name, but I doubt the outcome will be any different. So I just need to pester her until she agrees? Gotcha, I'm an expert at that. No way in hell I'm going to admit she's right, but let's give it a try. That's all for Big Sis. While Klukai is reading a motorbike magazine in the rest area, Bielka quietly sneaks up behind her. Did you know, Big Sis? You're the one who saved me when I was in a rut. Before joining 404, I was living a life of squalor and vagrancy. Where did you pop out of? Get to the point. I'm just trying to say that Sisters Reunion Day is super important to me. Please, let's celebrate our anniversary together, Big Sis Kukai. Shut up. I refuse. During 404's commission. You remember, Big Sis? That day when we reunited wasn't so different than now. I was also near the base, with you pointing a gun at me. Keep the irrelevant chatter to a minimum. But that day is very, very important to me. Not just that day, but every single day since we reunited. They're all equally important. Which makes the anniversary extra important. Please, Big Sis, pretty please. As long as you agree to celebrate together, I promise I'll shut up about all this. Before Bielka can finish her sentence, Kukai points her muzzle at Bielka and quickly pulls the trigger, knocking out the enemy behind her. If you don't want to go back in the scrap bin, focus on the task at hand. Mikti has fallen asleep on the beanbag sofa. Kukai is servicing her trusted weapon, and Doris is preparing to brew some coffee not far from them. Good evening, Big Sis. Oh, everyone's around. Indeed, evening is a good time for rest. Great. Here comes the nuisance. Big Sis Kukai, please. I prepared you an anniversary gift. The gift will be heartbroken if you're just going to discard it without even taking a look. Just as heartbroken as I am. Bielka's vivid plea makes Kukai turn her head around. Now she's forced to stare directly at Bielka's tear-filled eyes. No means no. It doesn't matter how many times you ask. Although knowing Bielka is trying to elicit sympathy, Kukai can't bring herself to say anything harsher upon seeing such a wronged expression. You're still so insincere, leader. Meanwhile, Andoris brings coffee to the two of them. Don't try to plead for her, Andoris. It's Bielka's heartfelt wish, after all. She has put a lot of time and effort into this, and it hasn't gone unnoticed by us. Maybe taking her up on her wish isn't such a bad thing, leader. Lukai falls silent at these words. Seizing the opportunity, Bielka quickly wipes her tears, puts on a sweet smile, and leans toward Lukai. She's such a fucking little mischievous. Promise you'll love the gift, Big Sis, and I guarantee I won't cause you any trouble. I'll do exactly as you say. Please, we can celebrate our sister's reunion day together, right? It's not some sister's reunion day. Eh? What do you mean, Big Sis? That was indeed the day you joined the team, but more importantly, it marks the proper formation of Hyde 404 Combat Team A. It's an anniversary that belongs to us all. You need to stop harping on this sister's reunion nonsense. If you insist on holding a celebration, keep what I just said in mind. So you just said celebration, right, Big Sis? Oh, yeah, I see. You just agreed, right? She was right after all. Who? Mikti? Following Bielka's gaze, Klukai locks onto Mikti, still fast asleep on the sofa with a satisfied grin on her face and no signs of waking up. No, it's nothing. I just knew Big Sis Klukai wouldn't let me down. This must be our sisterly bond. Bielka quickly wraps her arms around Klukai, pulling her attention back. Stop snuggling up to me. You're just like a squirrel. No, not even squirrels are as clingy as you. Get off me, you're making it stuffy. Bielka happily lets her go and flashes Klukai a smug smile. Just you wait for the gift the squirrel has prepared for you, Big Sis. Caught up in Bielka's excitement, Klukai unnaturally clears her throat before turning around. As for how you're going to celebrate, make sure not to go overboard. 404 is not a party company. You've had your welcome parties, no need to do it again. We have a commission on that day. The method of celebration is more suited to 404 than the success of the mission and all of us returning home safely. If it's the team's anniversary, then I shall prepare some drinks for everyone after our return. Do whatever you like. Anyway, stop pestering me with this from now on, Bielka. Roger that, Big Sis. I'll make sure to have the gift ready and hand it to you myself. Are you even listening to me? It's just a gift. Nothing complicated. I've almost got it done. Forget it. After letting out a deep sigh, Klukai leaves the rest area, with the look of excitement on Bielka's face lingers in her mind. A gift from the squirrel, huh? That's Risu. It's the day of the long-awaited anniversary. Bielka is already waiting excitedly outside Klukai's door early in the morning. Her terminal beeps several times in rapid succession, but Bielka impatiently turns off the notification and continues to stare at the door. Anniversary! Anniversary with Big Sis. Standing outside the door with a silly smile on her face, Bielka is pacing around when the door opens and Klukai comes walking out. Happy anniversary, Big Sis Klukai. Big Sis, you look so cool today. It's like you've got this special aura around you. I see. Are you also looking forward to today's surprise, Big Sis? Let's complete today's commission first. Lukai doesn't speak further as she continues to stride forward. Relax, Big Sis. It's just a little commission. We've done this so many times before. Nothing can go wrong this time. Let me tell you a secret, Big Sis. I have a little surprise for you in the rest area. It's got all the sense of ceremony with it. Let's head straight to the rest area right after the commission. Hearing Bielka's increasingly excited babble, Klukai stops in her tracks, looking somewhat resigned. Have you not seen the messages I just sent you, Bielka? Eh? You sent me messages? I'll check right now. Bielka frantically opens her comms terminal, takes one look, and starts squealing in panic. No way! An emergency mission? Who the hell even takes on 2 commissions in the same day? About that, I meant to say, how can that Leva be so heartless? Today is the anniversary of our team's formation. If she doesn't want to take part in the celebration herself, fine, but how can she throw us a last-minute commission like this? Let me take a look at the details. It's to suppress automated machines with malfunctioning IFFs. After carefully reading the commission request several times, Bielka looks up at Klukai with eyes full of grievance. Can't we have Team B handle this, Big Sis? I think they're entirely capable of dealing with this kind of task. Team B is on its way to other missions. Besides, do you think the plan is something you can alter on a whim? I didn't mean that. It's just... Today was supposed to be our anniversary, but now we're stuck doing missions all day, potentially working overtime as well. There won't be any time left to celebrate together. If you keep standing around wasting time, then we really won't have enough time to celebrate. It's an E-rank difficulty standard rescue mission. The area of operation is the same as originally planned, so it's a matter of doing it on the side of what we already had to do. With 404's capability, we might be back by the afternoon if we head out now. So, do you want to keep zoning out here, or should you go get geared up? I'll go get ready. No. Well, Bielka's already geared up and ready to go. Let's move out, Big Sis. As the dust sets in, 3 dolls walk into the partially decorated rest area. Being the first to enter the room, Bielka kicks the cardboard box by the door, following a loud thud. Multicolored string lights inside the box are found scattering across the floor. Bielka pouts and kicks the string lights away too. That is the surprise Bielka has prepared for Klukai. All that's left to do is hang up the string lights on the walls of the rest area to make the atmosphere even cozier. Yet, the expression on Bielka's face now stands in stark contrast to the warm atmosphere she intended to create. Bielka. Doris looks at Bielka with some concern. Miki, being the last one of the group to arrive, stretches lazily, grabs the nearest pillow by the door, and plops right down on the pile of string lights contentedly. Finally, we're back. Today was so tiring. I don't want to walk a single extra step. Bielka glances at the doll lying at her feet. She then picks up one of the string lights and walks up to the wall with a blank face, trying to hang it up. However, the long string of lights seems to have a mind of its own. Just as one side is secured, the opposite side would begin to sag and tangle itself with sections already hanging on the wall. Bielka grabs the hanging side and tugs at it impatiently, soon entangling everything into a knot. First the emergency commission, then an in-person report at the request of the client, and Big Sis just left like that? What is this? Even these damn lights are working against me now. Bielka furiously throws the tied-up string light to the ground and walks to the overturned cardboard box to get another one. One end of the long light string is pinned beneath Mikti, and Bielka tugs at it unsuccessfully for a while. Mikti! Get up, Mikti! Don't cough. Time to wake up! Wake up! Ah! Mikti painfully opens her eyes. Bielka? Is Lukai back? Why are you waking me up? Because of the string lights. You're sitting on all my string lights meant for decoration. Huh? What string lights? Mikti fumbles around aimlessly, growing increasingly frustrated as she watches. Bielka ultimately shoves her to the side. Whoa! The doll rolls to the ground and bumps into the wall with a distinct thump. Finally awake, Mikti slowly shuffles to the beanbag sofa on the side and rubs the spot on her head that bumped into the wall. Why so mean? It's not my fault that Klukai was called away. Besides, she says she'll be back ASAP after the report is done. Ignoring Mikti, Bielka angrily goes back to the wall with the string light in hand. Seeing Bielka's agitated state, Doris gently shakes her head before walking up to her and helps her prop up one end of the string. Here, let me help you set it up. Bielka glances at Endoris and says nothing, yet Endoris answers with a smile and holds the string high up to the wall. Look, Bielka, how about here? Without waiting for Bielka's answer, Endoris carefully affixes the string light to the wall. Then she picks up another string and begins affixing the second one with a smile on her face. Soon, the blank wall is covered with colorful lights. Even Mikti, who's dozing on the sofa, can't help but open her eyes wide to gaze at the sparkling scene. Didn't expect this small rest area to look so pretty when decorated. What do you think, Bielka? Seeing Bielka still sulking, Doris picks up the tied-up string light that had been thrown to the ground earlier and starts patiently untangling the knot. Shortly after, the tangled string light is returned to its original state. Doris gently hands it to Bielka and smiles tenderly. It's all fixed up. Oh my. Are you still upset that Leader couldn't make it back in time? Bielka stomps her foot in frustration and lowers her head, clutching the string light in her palm. I didn't get upset because of Big Sis. She's just doing what she has to do as per the client's request. It's her showing her sense of responsibility. She never slacks off, even on our anniversary. That's how cool Big Sis is. Indeed, Leader Klukai has always been very cool. Seeing that Bielka has finally calmed down, Doris takes the opportunity to pat her on the head. By the way, you should really go get your frame service now, Bielka. You've been overburdening your frame for the entire time during today's battle. You might exhaust your energy backup and end up in hibernation if you keep hanging around. Everything's settled here. It's okay for you to take a break. I don't want to. Maintenance will take too much time, and I won't be the first one Big Sis sees when she comes back. I will wait for Big Sis here. She promised she'd be back soon. I see. We'll head for maintenance first then. Don't push yourself too hard, okay? Doris leaves the rest area with Mikti. Having watched them leave, Bielka ponders for a moment, then sits on the beanbag sofa and rests her head on her knees. Any moment now. Big Sis will surely be back soon. Late into the night. An unusual calmness surrounds the base, only occasionally disturbed by the footsteps of staff echoing faintly down the corridor. However, as time goes on, the one specific sound Bielka eagerly awaits never appears. Almost midnight already. Bielka sinks deeper into the sofa, but still stares stubbornly in the direction of the corridor. When will Big Sis Glukai be back? Sis. At exactly 1:46 a.m., Glukai finally rushes into the rest area. The surprise Bielka's been boasting about since the morning before thus pops into Glukai's view. The entire rest area has been decorated in a lively and cheerful fashion with colorful lights emitting a soft, bright glow, and balloons on the walls spelling out anniversary. Glukai subconsciously slows her footsteps and stares at the surprise Bielka had prepared for her. Suddenly, she spots the doll curled up in the corner of the room. Bielka? The doll in the corner does not respond. Glukai hurries over and sees the doll curled up on the beanbag sofa with her arm wrapped around her knees. Her fluffy head rests on her arm and her eyes are gently closed. The damage to her body is yet to be repaired. Several tears in her synthetic skin look somewhat frightening under the flickering light. Hibernation, huh? Glukai leans over and gently pats her fluffy head. Dumb cough. Glukai gently reaches out and picks up the sleeping Bielka. You're heavier than I remember. Let's get you to the maintenance. Glukai is currently compiling last night's commission report in the meeting room. Suddenly, someone knocks on the door. Before Glukai can respond, a figure shoves the door open and rushes up to Glukai with a look of grievance on her face. Big Sis. Yes? Big Sis, I heard you're back, so I came here right away. Are you working on something? I'm not bothering you, am I? Glukai does not answer, but simply examines Bielka carefully. The doll in front of her looks clean and refreshed, clearly having undergone her maintenance. Were you planning to just hibernate in the rest area had I not come back last night? I just wanted to wait for Big Sis. Plus, I knew you'd be back when you said so yourself. Bielka steps forward and pouts in complaint. You did come back last night, so why didn't you wake me up then, Big Sis? Even if I was in hibernation, 10 minutes of charging and I would be right back up. That way we wouldn't have missed our anniversary. It's been a whole day. Why are you still thinking about that? Of course I'm still thinking about that. It's our the anniversary of Team A's formation after all. A once-in-a-year opportunity. Isn't it a shame to have missed it? Is your noggin filled with nothing but anniversaries? With the kind of damage you sustained, of course maintenance was the priority. But even if we missed out yesterday, all your decorations are still up, right? Tell Endorse and Meekty to come over in a bit and we can celebrate again today. What now? But today's no longer the anniversary. I've been preparing for so long, and I didn't even get the chance to gift you my present properly. Big Sis, do you not care about this at all? What does it have to do with me caring or not? Well, Big Sis, you big dummy. Wait, Bielka. Before Glukai can react, Bielka's already rushed out of the room crying. Staring at the fading silhouette, Glukai recalls Bielka's hurt expression just now and finds herself at a loss. Did I say something wrong? Bielka's huddled in a corner of her tiny room. Her quiet sobbing can be heard escaping from the ensconcement of her squirrel-shaped pillow. Just seriously have a squirrel-shaped pillow. Well, how did it turn out this way? Did I never belong here? Was I never meant to join 404? Big Sis doesn't care about me or our reunion. She doesn't care at all. Bielka cries her heart out. She stands up and slams the squirrel pillow to the ground. Squirrel. Screw squirrel. Big Sis, she hates squirrels. She hates me. Next, Bielka snatches up all the squirrel plush stickers and mallard toys lined on the desktop and fiercely throws them into the bin by her feet. I'm done. I don't want any of this anymore. I hate squirrels. I hate mallards. I hate you, Big Sis. Bielka shoves all the squirrels and mallards into the paper bin while tears well up in her eyes. Then she drags the travel bag out of the closet and begins packing her belongings. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm leaving today. Right now. I'm leaving right now. After a while of tearfully packing, her travel bag has been stuffed full. Still sniffling, Bielka hoists the bag onto her back and takes a few steps toward the door. Suddenly, she reaches into one of her pockets and pulls out a bullet casing. Perhaps due to it being constantly and carefully polished, the bullet casing shines with a mirror-like gleam. It's the bullet casing Big Sis gifted me. I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. I don't want anything. Bielka raises her hand and intends to throw the casing into the bin as well. However, after a few minutes of standing idly in the room, the casing is still clutched tightly in Bielka's palm. Realizing her reluctance, Bielka throws herself under the bed again and bursts into tears. Knock, knock. Suddenly, knocking on the door can be heard, followed by Klukai's voice coming through it. Are you in the room, Bielka? I'm not. What are you talking about? We can hear your cries down the entire hallway. I'm not crying. You're crying right now. Ugh. As the sobbing inside the room seems to have subsided, Klukai awkwardly raises her voice to speak. Alright. Stop crying. It was my fault last night. Given that I agreed to celebrate our anniversary together, I should have woken you up even when you were hibernating. During Klukai's apology, Bielka, who has almost stopped crying, burst into tears again. Big Sis, you've always been like this. You never cared about me or my feelings. You're always so mean to me. You never team up with me during training, and you always deliberately avoid me. Overcome with emotion, Bielka sits down on the edge of the bed, tears rolling down her cheeks. I don't want to be here anymore. Big Sis doesn't like me anyway. You don't care about our anniversary. I'm leaving 404. With the bag on her back, Bielka furiously stands up and is ready to leave through the door when suddenly she hears Klukai's voice with a much colder tone coming from outside. You think you can come and go as you please? I am Hyde 404's leader, and you are one of its members. You're not going anywhere without my permission. So scary. So scary, but I'm gonna leave anyway. With the bag on her back, Bielka abruptly opens the door. Seeing Bielka appeared before her eyes filled with tears, Klukai is stunned for a moment before immediately reacting. What are you doing with this big of a backpack? Bielka takes a step back under the pressure from Klukai's gaze. She retreats into the room and slams the door shut. Make up your mind, Bielka. Yet before the door closes, Klukai catches sight of the mess going on inside the room. Boo-hoo. Inside the room, Bielka throws herself back under the bed and begins to cry softly again. After a moment of silence, Klukai starts to talk in a low, unnatural voice, unlike her normal way of speech. Bielka. Actually, I was quite surprised that you came to 404. I never realized I was that important to you, nor did I think that 404 was a good place of belonging for you. But you've proven to me with your action that keeping you in 404 was the right decision. Success. Even though you've got a long road ahead before you're becoming an elite doll, and despite still being so noisy and clingy, you have indeed grown. I can be strict at times, but I'm not completely insensitive. Your efforts haven't been lost on me. As Klukai finishes her monologue, silence returns to the room. With her tears finally stopping, Bielka sniffles before slowly taking a few steps forward and reopens the door. Klukai stands stiffly outside. Seeing Bielka staring at her with tears streaming down her cheeks, Klukai can't help but feel a little awkward. Exists. So you've been caring about me all along. And why did you neglect the anniversary of our reunion? Klukai lowers her eyes and remains silent for a moment, as if awaiting her words. At last, she raises her head and looks at Bielka earnestly. I know you've placed a good deal of importance on the day of our reunion. However, the exact date of the reunion, or the day we choose to celebrate it for that matter, doesn't really matter in my eyes. The fact that we've reunited is far more precious than any celebrations or commemorations. As long as 404 is still around with us in it, as long as... Let me try that again. As long as 404 is still around with us in it, as long as we can still go on missions together and all return safe and sound, then that by itself is the best way of honoring our reunion. As she finishes, Klukai awkwardly clears her throat. She then retrieves the box from behind her, stuffs it into Bielka's hands, and immediately looks away. Here, that's for you. For me? Bielka's eyes widen as she frantically holds onto the box, completely flustered. Yes. Take a look. Yes. Bielka quickly unties the bow wrapping around the box. The lid of the box pops up to reveal a wooden carving of a squirrel. What's with the squirrel? The squirrel clutches a pine cone and sits with its head tilted back in the center of the box. Although the carvings are somewhat rough, the squirrel's expression is vividly lifelike. A squirrel? Bielka props up the wooden squirrel in her palm and stares at it in disbelief. Did you hand carve this yourself, Big Sis? Indeed. A present for the squirrel. Oh, that was Klukai's talking. A present for the squirrel. It's rather rough. I did it casually in my spare time, without putting much effort into it. You don't... I knew it. Big Sis cares about me after all. With traces of dried tears still visible on her cheeks, Bielka breaks into a big smile and throws herself into a tight embrace with Klukai. Ugh, you don't hurl yourself at me like this, all of it. I know. Big Sis Klukai is the best. I love you the most. But then what's with all these squirrels on the ground? And mallards, too. I had no idea you collected mallards. It doesn't matter. Bielka giggles as she looks at the wooden squirrel in her hand and hugs Klukai even tighter. This squirrel Big Sis gave me is all Bielka needs. Okay. I apologize. I did that completely out of order. Obviously that was supposed to probably come before the last combat with dialogue. I'm assuming the others also do this. Yeah. So I'll do it right the next... Oh, this one doesn't have it. Okay, well, yeah, I'll do it right for part 2, though. Yeah. Alright. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking that I should do part 2. Because I don't seem to get very many opportunities to sit down and do these. Alright. I think what I am going to do, though, is I'm probably going to restart the stream with part 2. Actually, let me just change the stream title. I don't think I need to do that. And then the YouTube video will be part 1 and 2. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm guessing this is going to be Andorus's story stuff. No. Probably similar to the previous one with sorting neural cloud memories. Sorry to keep you waiting, Andorus. Don't worry about it. It's very kind of you to take time out of your busy day just to help me sort through my neural data, Commander. You're welcome. That's my responsibility as your commander, after all. Today we're going through the section of records from when you joined 404, right? Yes, a lot happened back then. Oh? Interesting. I'm also keen to learn about what went down. After all, the Klukai I remember never struck me as someone particularly welcoming to new members. You're right about that, Commander. You seem eager to hear it, too. If you're ready, shall we begin right now? Let's do this. This scenario... this was just like back when I first saw an EXILIUM. On level 2? Yes. All I saw was their virtual image back then, but even so, it spooked me. It's understandable that civilian dolls would not have much opportunity to see Elids. I'll go ahead and take care of these then, Commander. Hmm? 416 and GRG11 push open the door as they walk into the cafe. After finding their seat, a waitress doll approaches them. Welcome. My name is Endoros, and I'm here to serve you today. Is there anything I can help you with? The attentive Endoros does not hand them the menu, nor does she show any signs of concern or impatience. She merely smiled and waits for 416 in GRG11's response. Perhaps eased by Endoros' gentle demeanor, 416 briefly loosens up after having glared at Endoros with her usual wariness. Your manager. Is Springfield here? Manager Springfield is unavailable at the moment. He'll be back in a little bit. If it's okay with you, you can wait for her here, or you can leave her a message. Sure, we'll wait for her here. Alright, I'll head back to work then. Please let me know if you need anything. After Endoros has left, 416 double-checks the details of the commission. We're ahead of schedule. There's still half an hour before the agreed delivery time. Isn't that a good thing? That means we completed the last commission faster than expected. Stop dragging me out of bed so early in the morning next time, 416. And you need to stop treating one-offs as the norm. Whatever you say. You're always on edge like this, 416. GRG11 murmurs as she stretches lazily before she flops onto the table, contentedly letting her eyelids slowly close shut. Since we have plenty of time, I'll just... Even when those two aren't around anymore, GRG11 still hasn't grown one bit. 416 props her head up and turns her attention to outside the window. The traffic of a green zone cafe in the day is quite light. Together with the soothing melodies playing in the background, the sunlight streaming through the ceiling high windows conjures a brief moment of afternoon tranquility. Amidst this tranquility, 416 checks the message interface on her terminal once again. Alas, it is just as quiet there. Have things like this bothered you before too, Commander? Hot, hot, hot! Get me some ice! Right. Can't you take that pitcher away? Bring ice cubes, wipe the table, then take the order and take the pitcher away. Again? Can't you process more than one thing at a time? You think I'm in the mood to order food right now? I'm really sorry. The commotion nearby interrupts the brief moment of peace 416 was enjoying. GRG11, on the other hand, slightly adjusts her position and drifts back into her slumber. Seeing the overwhelmed and panicked King Andorus, a certain civilian doll pops into 416's mind. She slightly adjusts her mental state and lets out a soft sigh. At the very least, GRG11's more useful than this one. Finally, the cafe's doors swing open once again as Springfield walks in. Upon noticing Endoris wiping at the coffee stains, she smiles helplessly. Just as she's about to lend Endoris a hand, 416 barges in and blocks her path. 416? It's been a while. My apologies for my absence and not being there to receive you. There was an urgent matter and I had to attend to. It's fine. You're right on time. Exacting as always, 416. How long has it been since we last met? 3 years? No, it must be longer than that. Let's leave the catching up for later. Is the cargo ready for handover? Cargo. A tinge of hesitation flashes across Springfield's usual gentle expression. I see. Please wait for a moment while I take care of something. The 416's nod of agreement, Springfield gestures for Endoris to head to the back of the cafe. Still cleaning the floor, Endoris pauses for a moment before joining Springfield. 416 walks back to her table and bluntly shakes GRG-11 awake. What now? Time to work. Sure. No need to wake me like that. Springfield's back? Where is she? Sorry to keep you waiting. Please follow me to the back. 416 hesitates for a moment and then pushes the drowsy GRG-11 along with Springfield. Walking past the kitchen, the three stop somewhere more akin to a storage room. A large person-tall container lies quietly in the center of the room. 416 cautiously approaches the container and carefully examines it for a moment. This is what we're here for? Can you please unlock the box? Seeing as the exact delivery date is yet to be confirmed, the cargo will need to be stored at 404's warehouse first. Thus, we'll need to verify the cargo's condition before delivery. No problem. But, if possible, can you please stop referring to her as cargo? What do you mean by her? Instead of answering directly, Springfield pushes open the lid. Endoris lies quietly in hibernation in the cold transport container. Her serene, sleeping face resembles the warm sunshine of spring. While she has been removed from the cafe's registry, her local neural backup is yet to be deleted. In a way, she is still our companion. A companion? After everything, you just sold her off like any other appliance or item. Who did you sell her to? Don't tell me the scrapyard? Some random broker in the yellow zone? 416, you just need to verify her condition. No need to delve too deep into this. I don't need you to remind me of that. Seeing 416's overbearing stance, GRG-11 reluctantly chimes in the eased attention despite the not this again expression on her face. Please don't take it personally, Springfield. 416 is just a little hypersensitive to these matters due to what happened to us before. 404 has no prejudices whatsoever against our clients, nor do we delve into matters that are not our concern. You can rest assured. I understand. We too simply hope Endoris can find a more suitable place. Due to her frame's performance issues, she can't handle most of the daily tasks at the cafe very well. She herself is quite troubled by this. But rest assured, the one who will take Endoris in is not an inconsiderate individual. I can guarantee you that. 416, without even responding to Springfield, coldly patches into an encrypted channel. Leva's voice comes through. Looks like you successfully rendezvoused with Springfield. Leva, is the cargo you told us to bring over the civilian doll called Endoris? I don't remember the exact nature of the cargo being specified anywhere, but given the time, location, and contact for the handover all line up, it sounds right to me. Sounds right. To you. Since when did 404 start taking on sketchy commissions like these? Don't think that I... Oh, looks like Kalina got herself in some trouble. Gotta hang up now. I'll trust you with bringing Doris back. Hello? Hello? With the call abruptly cut off, 416 can only try to calm herself. She then closes the lid of the container in front of her. Date redacted 150356. Squad 404 confirms receiving the civilian doll and Doris. It's finally back to normal. I'll leave her to you from now on, Squad 404. You should stay and rest for a bit before you leave. That will not be necessary. Until she's delivered, 404 will ensure Doris' safety. If any unexpected issues arise down the line, we'll contact you again. Oi, GRG11. Come on, not me again. Shut up, get her out of here. The back door is over there. Okay. GRG11 carries the transport container out of the back door of the cafe, 416 following after her. Perhaps out of professional habit, Springfield gently bows at their departing silhouette. Please take good care of her. Honestly, I was kind of hoping this was going to be a voiced event. Less reading for me. Out loud, at least. Having brought back and safely stored in Doris 404's temporary base, 416 returns to her routine as if nothing happened. Excuse me. Originally planning to bring GRG11 along for the simulation training, she notices several maintenance crews sitting at the usual vacant rest area. Each of them holds a cup of coffee and chats enthusiastically. None notices 416's appearance. The aroma of coffee wafting through the air adds a touch of coziness this place usually lacks, but also a hint of suspicion. Wow, can't believe we're being attended to by someone. It's definitely a first. Guess these dolls finally learned to treat their guests. I don't think I've seen her face before. tactical doll hiring a civilian doll? This world is becoming more absurd by the day. Who cares? I'm good as long as there are pretty girls to look at. Ha ha ha. You're right. Miss, another cup of coffee, please. Okay. Please wait for a moment. We ran out of coffee beans and I just found a new bag. Hearing their request, Doris walks out of the storage and deftly loads the coffee beans into the machine. I'm really sorry. We only have a coffee machine here, so I can't hand brew you anything. Oh, that's totally fine. We don't care about such things. We'd even drink motor oil if Miss Doris were the one who brought it to us. You're really funny. Seeing Doris laughing and joking with the maintenance crew, 416 tenses up again after having calmed down. Just then, Doris also notices her entering the rest area and greets her with a friendly smile. Good morning. 416? Sorry, I'm not terribly familiar with T-Doll's imprint system. I apologize if I made a mistake. You're not mistaken. But 416 walks over to the beanbag sofa, grabs onto its ledge, and yanks it up. GRG-11, who is lying cozily on it, is thrown onto the floor following a loud thud. What are you doing, 416? You could have just told me to get up nicely. The doll that should be in the warehouse is freely roaming the base, yet you, a member of 404 tasked with safekeeping, simply turned a blind eye. You tell me why I should be nice with you. I'm not the one who woke Doris up. Stier. He came over and sneakily powered Doris up, then left as if he was fleeing from a disaster. Even woke me up in the process. Stier is certainly becoming quite bold. I happen to have some equipment that needs its calibration. You should pay him a visit in person. What a hassle. You can go on your own. I'll go back to... Seeing GRG-11 head for the beanbag sofa, 416 swiftly snatches her by her clothes. To avoid being snatched away, GRG-11 holds onto one of the table's legs with her hand. As their tug-of-war plays out, comms to a special encrypted channel are established. With Leva's image coming through, 416 puts GRG-11 down. Having gained some breathing room, GRG-11 retreats to the safety of hiding behind Doris. Safe at last. I don't think 416 meant any harm. Glad to see you two are still close as ever. Is your visual module malfunctioning or what? Anyway, great timing. You're just about to pay Deer a visit, given that he activated the doll in 404's custody without authorization. It was authorized. I gave him the order. Oh, and I also reminded him to be quiet on the job and flee as if his life depended on it, seeing the boatload of trouble he would be in if caught by 416. You think 404 is having too much of a good time as of late, or what? The client says it'll be a while before they can collect the cargo. It'll be a shame not to put such an excellent civilian doll like Doris to use. See? She can attend to the personnels and look after GRG-11. Isn't that great? You think I'm a moron? 416 did not raise her voice, yet her tone carries intense intimidation. The maintenance crew who has been watching over from the sidelines sensibly put down their coffee and leave the scene one after another. It's not until only 3 dolls remain in the rest area that Leva resumes talking. What's the matter? Why so grumpy all of a sudden? Quit playing dumb. No client is coming to collect the cargo. And Doris is the new recruit you're trying to bring into 4-4, isn't she? You thought I wouldn't notice her file tucked in with the stack of resumes you had Lena bring over? Oh wow. Despite all that fuss about being against new members, you sure pay a lot of attention to the matter, 416. See, all this happened because you stubbornly refused to interview any new dolls, so I had to resort to my methods to get you both in one place. What are you hoping to achieve by putting a civilian doll in 404? Deliver lunchboxes to the enemy on the front line? Well, it's not like it's our first time converting a civilian doll into a tactical doll. I'd say GRG-11 certainly qualifies as a formidable combatant now. She's different. 416 glances at GRG-11 hiding behind Endoris with half of her head poking out. Endoris' model features large storage capacity, ideal as a battlefield intelligence operative. You and I are in talks about how to utilize this feature to enhance 4-4's capabilities. Besides, she's got a calm and gentle personality, good for smoothing things out when Lena and I aren't around. She's also better at holding conversations with humans. I know you aren't the best at dealing with them. 416, except for a certain commander. Stop changing the subject. I know what you're up to. As long as I let these new recruits into the team, you get to sit comfortably in your numbfoot office and dump mission after mission on us to toil away at. Leva, 404 is a squad of 4. You may be the leader, but you aren't in charge of everything. So you do know it's a squad of 4 after all. Leva's retort makes 416's expression grow even more somber. What are you trying to say? You and GRG-11 have been working over capacity, right? Even to the point of being carried back by drones after you both were nearly destroyed. I don't suppose that's a good thing for either you or 404's reputation. Oh, look who suddenly cares about 404's reputation. The same leader who took half of our fighting power and rarely comes back. You think cramming a civilian doll into the squad will help with 404's reputation? What we need now is a proficient tactical doll, not a walking hard drive. An interesting analogy. As her neural cloud is thrown into a disarray by the coral, GRG-11 clutches tightly at Endoris' hem. The latter smiles and places her hand over GRG-11's ears to shield her from the noise. Ha! I say it's best for you to chill out for now. I mean, ultimately, it's not up to me if Endoris joins 404 or not, since you two are going to be the ones working with her on a daily basis. Glad you're aware of that. Of course I do, but you need to stop acting like a child who refuses to play with others since you found a best friend. Throwing a tantrum like a spoiled brat will only hurt those you cherish the most, you know? Shut up. 416 hangs the call without thinking twice. As she turns around, she sees Endoris soothing the clearly perturbed GRG-11. She got frightened. Her neural cloud is a little jumbled right now. Although I'm not sure what you two are arguing about, I believe disagreements between companions shouldn't be taken too seriously. When I worked at the cafe, I too... Just leave. 416 avoids Endoris' eyes. You heard our conversation. There's no place for you in 404. Unlike her back in the day, you can find other places to go besides the cafe. After noticing Endoris' silence, 416 awkwardly adds another line. Until you find your next employment, you can live here. You can also back up your neural cloud in 404 server for the time being. Endoris' silence lasts longer than expected. 416 looks at her again with impatience. While the smile lingers on the lips of the beautiful doll, her gentle eyes have grown dull and empty. 416, I think She crashed? Just as the two lean in to take a closer look, Endora suddenly blinks. Her smile gives way to unease and confusion. As if unaware of her own crash, she casually picks up where the conversation has been left at. So, I've been fired again? Or endorse. Phew. We're making great progress. Your orders are really concise and efficient, Commander. And you're very good at carrying them out. Although there are some lags and delays, your executions are accurate and your information analysis is very precise. Both have been a great help. Commander, are you being considerate of my feelings? You are truly very kind. I am very appreciative of your acceptance, Commander. Speaking of acceptance, sorry for putting it this way, but I never expected Kukai to eventually approve your inclusion. Indeed, I was also quite surprised. I thought I was going to be fired again. Maybe fired is not the right word, since I wasn't officially employed in the first place. What did you do to change Klukai's mind? I feel like I did a lot, but also nothing at the same time. What does that mean? Let's continue sorting through it, Commander. Seeing my neural records firsthand would be more helpful, I think. I'll entrust you with it. Endoris, can you hear me? Ah, my apologies, Commander. There was a bit of an error when I loaded in the data. It's alright. Let's focus on the battle on hand. Today's plan failed. Despite learning some ambush and CQC techniques through online video tutorials, when it came time to put them into practice, I got pinned by Miss 416 before I even realized what was happening. Looking back, she likely noticed my presence before I first approached her. Her leg sweep was so fast I barely caught a glimpse of it. However, I did manage to lift Miss 416 off the ground. I suppose that could be considered a small triumph for me. Sitting in front of the terminal, Endoris sighs, then frowns at the words she just typed out in the terminal. No, lifting Miss 416 off the ground was just a random reaction I resorted to amidst the confusion. It was not a deliberate act. Besides, I got quickly pinned to the ground afterwards. While I knew it wouldn't be as easy as shown in the tutorial, Miss 416 is far beyond my expectations. What should I do now? Since I gave my word that I'd land a single hit on Miss 416 to prove myself worthy of the position, I can't stop after just one failure. Oh, I can't just shoot Miss 416 with a real gun. That would be too dangerous. And Doris pulls up the search engine and aimlessly clicks around, browsing through tactical training videos. Today, I'm going to teach you some useful moves that are particularly helpful when there's a significant disparity between you and your opponent. The key is to target your opponent's weak spots. Target the weak spots? Makes sense. Generally speaking, the human body have these weak spots: the abdomen, the throat, and the eyes. Let me demonstrate you how quickly to hit those areas. The dolls share the same weak spots? The abdomen. Our frames look to be quite protected. The neck does look more fragile, but I doubt I can deal any damage with my strength. That leaves one option. Let's see what the video says. Suppose we're face to face with the enemy. Pandora stands up and pushes the chair under the table, leaving enough space around her. Right, suppose the enemy is here. Keep your lower body stable by spreading your feet slightly apart. Get ready to move around or even jump. Ready to move around. Protect your face with your left hand. Defend yourself. Left hand, okay, right here. Don't I need to know how Miss 416 will attack first to be able to defend myself? Based on my previous observations, there are 17 possible areas I could be hit. But first protect the nose, then cover the chest, forehead, and nose. Strike out with your right hand. Go straight for the eyes. Owie, why did you hit me? The obvious comedic twist leading into the second half of the video is gone completely over Doris's head as she is already on the verge of crashing. Nose, cover, forehead, hit. Bam! And Doris punches herself in the face and is knocked to the ground. Today's plan failed as well. As I failed to master the technique of attacking an opponent's weak spots head on, I resorted to an ambush again. However, right as I covered Miss 416's eyes, she immediately turned around and tackled me to the ground. Combat really is a challenging ordeal. How can I land a hit and prove myself to Miss 416? Fortunately, I found a direction to work towards. The video tutorial taught about employing equipment creatively, like using flashbangs to temporarily blind enemies. I decided to try this approach. I'll prepare for it tonight. Let's keep pushing tomorrow. Today was another failure. I guess filling the meeting room with moonlight isn't as effective as real flashbangs. Though, when Miss 416 threw me to the ground, my sight did blur for a split second. I guess that does count as the blinding effect? I should take note of that. The tutorial made mention of utilizing the terrain to one's advantage when faced with overwhelming odds. As the saying goes, everything is about the right timing, the right location, and the right people. That has inspired me. And tomorrow I'll experiment with a plan that leverages the environment. I hope it will go smoothly. The distraction tactic failed. I asked Miss Mechanic to help distract Miss 416, but it wasn't effective at all. Miss 416 managed to knock me to the ground the moment I revealed myself. Does she have additional visual modules besides her eyes? Fortunately, after all these days of hard work, I've mastered the base's layout, or at least the sections accessible to an outsider like me. Additionally, I now have a general understanding of Miss 416 and Miss GRG11's habits. I can make use of this information in future plans. On a side note, one thing's been bothering me. Over the days, despite getting angry and calling my plan foolish, Miss 416 never stopped me from attempting my ambush tactics. What does she mean by that? I'm so tired. Today was supposed to be a day off, yet we're staying up later than usual. Stop complaining. Didn't I just take you out for a ride to relax? You call that relaxing? I still have dust in my mouth. Fine. Hurry up and get in. Time to write today's training report. Look at what time it is. It's my personal time now. You need to respect my... Hush. 416 abruptly stops from dragging GRG11 into the meeting room. Caught in the momentum, GRG11 can't stop in time and bumps straight into her. Ouch. What now? Are we going into the meeting room or not? Quiet. Haven't you noticed something's up? Huh? Something's up? Why are all the lights in the meeting room switched off? Are we so low on budget that we need to conserve energy like this? No. I told the staffs to leave the lights on and have the equipment ready before they clock out, since they'll need the meeting room around this time. Does that mean someone snuck in? A thief? No way. This is 404's secret hideout. Switch to night vision. Yes. With their night vision on. I know what she's gonna do. With the night vision on, the two see the meeting room is in total disarray. The floor is littered with all sorts of debris in contrast to its usual tidiness. Can't see very well, but they certainly made a big mess. Guess a thief really got in. But why would they rummage through a meeting room? Careful. We need to take a closer look. 416 and GRG11 slowly enter the meeting room with their weapons trained. 416 comes to a halt when she feels something crack underneath her feet. Coffee beans? Tea bags and snacks too. I don't get it. 416, are we sure this is actually not the pantry? Check the corner. Something's there. Oh, okay. In night vision mode, the two find a thing lying on the floor in the corner. Is that hair I'm seeing? Is that a person? 416 does not answer, but rather quietly steps over the scattered debris on the floor and paces toward the thing on the ground. She stops a step away from the thing and frowns as she stares at it. This is what you've got in store for your pathetic antic today? Making an attack in the meeting room? What's going on? Ignoring GRG11's question, 416 steps forward and gently kicks the thing on the ground. While the thing lying on the ground does not change its position, it visibly stiffens. Not getting up yet? Hiya. Doris slowly sits up, intending to strike the side of 416's neck with a hand chop. 416 irritably catches her hand, swivels it around, and pins her to the ground. I'll pass on the high five. As expected of Miss 416. Impressive as always. So, do you still need us to act out this nonsensical skit with you? I'm afraid you'll have to keep me company for a little longer, Miss 416. She's gonna turn the light on. While Andoris' face is pressed against the ground, thus making it difficult for her to speak, 416 sees the glimpse of a calm smile on her face. What? Listen to me, 416. What? Here's 11. I told you to stay away. I can't stop. Get out of the way, 416. Holy. GRG11 stumbling towards her in the pitch-black meeting room. 416 fails to push her aside as both her hands are occupied with holding Andoris down. The two collide violently, triggering another round of ruckus. Enough! 416 flips the light on. The blinding incandescent glare suddenly fills the meeting room, and Doris narrows her eyes to adjust to the light. In her gradually clearing vision, she sees GRG11 scrambling to stand up. What's this? All slippery and smells kind of good. It's coffee? Whoa, you've got them all over your face and hair, 416. Did you take a swim in the coffee pool? Looks like my plan is a success. Though it's with coffee, it still counts as hitting Miss 416, right? Eh? Oh, this was part of your plan, Endoris? Where did the coffee come from? As GRG11 looks around, a crushed coffee can rolls to her feet. Oh, guess it came from the can that I stepped on. Whoa! 416 stomps on the can, crushing it completely. The remaining liquid spurts out and splashes on the GRG11. Oh, so you only realized it now? How about I send you to the circus tomorrow if you're that good at stepping on cans? It's not like I meant to. I was in a hurry and it was so dark in here. Fortunately, what Endoris left on the ground was just a can of coffee and not a landmine. Otherwise, it would have been over for us. So you even know it'll be over? It's okay, Miss 416. No need to get upset. I think GRG11 is just worried about you, which is why she rushed over. Besides, it's not like hazardous items really are going to be in the meeting room. Haha, I wouldn't leave things of that nature in here. After all, my real intent isn't to hurt you two. Well, but you're also quite the genius for making a fool out of 416 like this, Andoris. GRG11 tugs at 416's sleeve. Pretty rich coming from you. 416 glares at GRG11 and the latter wisely shuts up. He then maintains her cold expression while turning her attention to Andoris. All this just to join 404, huh? Yes, Miss 416. Please give me an opportunity. 416 takes 2 deep breaths before snatching the gun from GRG11's hand and throwing it at Endoris. Take this, and follow me to the live fire training ground. Weird. You want a chance? Then it's time to stop your ridiculous antics and face me in proper combat. I'm out on top and I'll let you go through the acceptance test. Eh? What the heck are you doing, 416? Don't you know how much easier the acceptance test is compared to defeating you? No, we just agree. Mind your own business. Go get a mop and clean the room up. If I see a single coffee bean on the ground when I'm back, prepare to say goodbye to all your game's save files. What's any of this have to do with my save files? Ignoring GRG11's grumbles, 416 storms out of the meeting room furiously. Endoris pats GRG11 on the shoulder reassuringly. It's okay, Miss GRG11. We'll clean it up with you once I'm back. You need to be able to come back first. 416 is really terrifying when she's worked up like that, so don't try to take her head on. Although she probably won't actually harm you. Yes, I understand. I'll take my chances. It better be like that. Speaking of, do you even know how to use a gun? Doris holds the weapon up in her hand and examines it carefully. I've watched the tutorials, so I know the basics. Just aim at the target through the scope and pull the trigger, right? Are you coming or not? I'll be right there. Doris smiles at GRG11 and follows 416 out of the room. Visibly worried, GRG11 follows her to the door and shouts, "Pay attention to the recoil. Make sure the gun is pressed up against your shoulder." Unsure whether Endoris can even remember her advices, GRG11 withdraws her gloomy gaze back to the mess in the meeting room.
これがあなたの最後の輝き。安らかに眠って。任務完了。容疑者は全員逮捕しました。みんなのために。正義の現行犯で逮捕する。お待たせしました。星々よ。これがあなたの最後の輝き。
Endorus. Yes, Commander? I'm right here. Why so serious all of a sudden? Are you feeling tired? I have a coffee grinder here. Let me brew you a cup. No, that's not that I'm tired, but, sure, I'll have a cup, thanks. What I want to say is, have you ever considered optimizing your neural cloud? Not that there's anything wrong with the way you are, but if the persistent crashing bothers you a lot, I can help you with that. Doris flashes a look of surprise before turning her focus back on what she's doing without responding right away. He sits down beside me with a gentle smile and a steaming cup of coffee ready to be served. I really can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me, Commander. I don't think of it that way. As I've said before, it is my responsibility as your commander. No, it's precisely with my experience under numerous employers that I've learned people like you who deeply care about dolls are few and far between. I just want everyone here to have an easier time. What do you think of that? Well, we are very grateful for your kindness, Commander. However, if my neural cloud is to be optimized, my storage capacity will be affected, right? If that's the case, I will no longer be able to perform my task of info gathering and analysis as effectively as I do now. Moreover, with everyone's help, my marksmanship is somewhat improved. Therefore, I think it's best to maintain the status quo for now. Okay. If you feel that way. To be frank, I also think storage capacity and data analysis are where your strengths lie. I will keep an eye out for any emerging technologies that can fix your crashing problem without compromising your current capabilities. Commander. Alright, I've heard enough compliments today. Let's keep sorting through the neural records, shall we? I'd like to know what happened next. Yeah, sure thing.
予想より早く終わりましたね。
It's been an entire hour and my meal hasn't been served yet. This Andorus is still standing here like a piece of junk. Where's your manager? Give me your manager. I'm terribly sorry. I'll take care of it. Facing the angry customer, Centauri sea shields and doors behind her. Sorry, dear customer, but it's currently peak dining hour and we are short-staffed. We sincerely apologize for the wait. Your meal will be served shortly, and we'll do our utmost to provide you with excellent service. Hearing the commotion, Manager Springfield also emerges from behind the bar holding a cup of steaming latte. Our deepest apologies for taking up your time. This latte is on me. Sir, I'm very sorry for the inconvenience caused. I will do my best to compensate you. You? Compensate me? You think you can make up for the time I wasted because of you? I... With the clatter of wind chimes, 2 more customers walk into the cafe. See, Colleen? Springfield's place is very lively. Don't say that, Leva. And the two who just walked in, Centurici glances at Springfield with a look of "leave this to me," sparing her to greet the two. Leva and Kalina, were you out on a business trip again? Yeah, we'll be around for a while, so I figured we'd drop by. Alan really misses your hand-brewed coffee. Springfield guides the two to an empty table and looks back to make sure Centurici had appeased the angry customer before raising her hand to call Endoris over. This is Endoris, our newest employee, and these two are Kalina and Leva. Pleased to meet you both. So you're the newcomer. No wonder you look so flustered. I'm terribly sorry. I have embarrassed myself before you. Doris has worked here for some time now. She is very meticulous and attentive. Using her large storage capacity, she can accurately track each customer's preferences and their birthdays. Sounds like she's a perfect fit for the job, but I guess it's another story. A story in practice. Well, Manager Springfield has taught me everything I need to know about the job, but my own performance issue prevents me from handling more complex and unexpected requests from customers. Even when it comes to the menu, I've only learned how to brew coffee. It's not Manager Springfield's fault. No, I see. So you're not a good fit. Leva. Elena stops Leva from going further, yet an enigmatic smile remains on Leva's face as she strokes her chin. Say, what about having her join 404, Springfield? Eh? And Doris? But... Leva... Lena's voice now carries an angry undertone, yet Leva simply shrugs indifferently and turns her attention back at Endoris. Endoris, oh, by the way, hold your questions about 404 for now. What are your thoughts on working here? Me? Endoris falls silent for a moment. I'll try my best to keep up with everyone. Although it may take some time, I don't want to leave. You should realize that a place that makes things harder for both sides is probably not where you belong. Seeing how swiftly you guys handled that scuffle, I can only assume that what happened back there was the norm, right? Think more flexibly. If this place isn't the right fit for you, why not consider my suggestion? Doris turns towards Springfield with a somewhat bewildered look on her face. Springfield pats her on the shoulder and helps her straighten her apron. I have no intention of letting you go, but you have the final say. Working at the cafe won't let you reach your full potential. The 404 will. Do you want to find a place where you're truly needed, Doris? Will I be needed at 404? Leva chuckles. Of course you will be. But you have to put up with certain sharp-tongued yet soft-hearted dolls' harsh critiques first. But believe me, she means no harm, and she's actually quite reliable. You'll be fine, Doris. So, want to give it a try? With her hair all messed up, Doris cowers in the room's corner with GRG-11's gun clutched tightly in her arm. Her body is covered in bruises while bullet holes littered her surroundings. Join 404, and this will be your everyday life. The real battlefield is nothing like your childish antics. 416 sees Doris' blank stare and assumes she's crashed again. Irritated, she yanks the GRG-11 assault rifle out of her hands and walks out the door without noticing the change in Doris' face. New world. But will this one need me? Doris slowly stands up and then looks down at her battered body. The weight and stiffness of the assault rifle still linger in her arms. So, I want to bear witness to the kind of world that needs me. 416 opens the door and is greeted by GRG-11, who is peering through the gap with a mop in hand. It's over. How did it go? 416 shoves the gun into GRG-11's arms and strides forward. She's alive. Oh. Can't say if she's scared senseless, though. Didn't you decide to give Andoris a chance when we were in the Yellow Zone earlier? Why do all of this, then? The heavy bike comes to a stop on top of a small hill. A convoy of vehicles is parked in the valley below, surrounded by a few scattered dolls busy doing maintenance work. Their frames are covered in varying degrees of damage with signs of sloppy modifications. A number of them can barely move coherently, undoubtedly the result of haphazard remodeling done on civilian dolls. One of them quickly spots 416 and GRG-11. Her fire control module, clearly ripped from some random piece of military hardware and forcibly welded onto her, suddenly swivels around. The mechanical eyeball rotates unnaturally, seemingly about to fall out of its socket. 416 shows no reaction. She stands there and stares into those empty eyes. Once the doll confirms 416 presents no threat, she drops her guard and returns to her task without looking back. Whoa. As if they're Frankenstein's monsters. GRG-11 has just woken up from hibernation, rubbing her eyes as she walks over to 416. Geez, Leva hadn't taken this in, would we have ended up like them by now? You're thinking too highly of yourself. I may end up like them, but only because I was built as a T-doll. You, on the other hand, are at best a component they would bolt onto me, and most likely the most useless one. Sure. I am useless after all. If that's what you think of me, why not hurry up and recruit some other dolls so I can stay at the base and nap all day? Instead of firing back as she usually does, 416 remains silent. GRG-11 does not disturb her, nor does she return to the bike. Instead, she stays by 416's side, just as she does on the battlefield. Do you remember the original meaning of 404, GRG-11? The original meaning? As in, those who don't exist? Yes. 4 dolls who, for various reasons, found themselves unable to return to any organization and were thus deemed non-existent by the world. Willingly or not, we came together, braved battle after battle, and fought tooth and nail to secure the freedom we now hold. But does that even mean anything for an ordinary doll? You're increasingly acting weird as of late, 416. Is Leva and Lena leaving put too much pressure on you? Have you contemplated all this back when you decided to remodel me? Surely not. Is that the real reason why you were rejecting Andoris? In part, yes. We had no choice back then, but Andoris still does. This place may be a safe haven for us, but for her? But looking at Andoris, I don't think her prior jobs were all sunshine and rainbows either. She crashed at the mere mention of the word fired. Maybe she's better off staying with 404, just as Springfield and Leva concluded. Let's at least give her a fire control core and see if it works out. can find her a stable job if it doesn't, or keep her at the base as logistics. 404 is not a shelter. Randomly recruiting or remodeling dolls is irresponsible to both sides. Jeez, there's a 404 is some legitimate organization. You're being so textbook about it that it's starting to feel weird. RG11 scratches her head dramatically. Besides, Leva hand-picked her. They should value her judgment, right? Her judgment? I bet she's just in for the price per doll value. But all of us that she chose back then are alive and well today. Can't hurt to try. You know, as they say, the only true failure is not trying at all. Don't let your doubts win before the fight even begins. Upon hearing such a straight-faced statement, 416 glances at GRG11. Where did you get that from? The newest anime I watched. Cool, huh? Of course. Oh, they're leaving. The rattling sound of engine startups comes from below the hill. The bounty hunters yell at the dolls to get back on the vehicles. Hurry up! Bunch of worthless scraps. Fuck, we're really shit out of luck these days. First the collapse storm, and then a bunch of Ariagers. Half of the dolls got totaled. How are we supposed to take on any commissions like this? No worries. The boss has already contacted some underground brokers to get us more illegal dolls. Worst case scenario, we just stick through for now. Sure. Want to go have some fun later? The rude man pushes the last doll onto the vehicle and then climbs in himself before pulling down the heavy blast door. Following the engine's roar, the convoy departs, gradually shrinking into a tiny black dot in the drifting sand. On top of the hill, GRG11 and 416 also return to the bike. Sit tight. And patch me into Deer's come channel. 416 accelerates to full throttle, and the heavy bike speeds off in the opposite direction. With a mop in one hand and her gun in the other, GRG11 can barely keep up with 416's brisk pace while nervously observing her sullen expression. Did you change your mind about Endora's sting? You say something, 416. I did not change my mind. But if that was all it took to scare the life out of her, then she'd be crying and begging to resign in 2 days tops. We'll be on a mission by then, and who's going to fill in for her? You? Oh. But I don't think that will be the case, though. Didn't you also say it's quite remarkable of her to have persevered all these days just for an opportunity? GRG11 scratches her head and looks back at the training ground. Doris has yet to come out, nor has she made any sound. Even 3-year-olds can come up with the same tricks. What gives? I only said that because, well, she is indeed making progress, so I decided to give her a chance. Alright, stop staring at it. Are you done mopping the floor yet? Just a friendly reminder, you still have your training report to do. Why do you still remember that? It's not fully at ease. GRG11 scratches her head again. But what if Andoris is still waiting to attempt to accept this test? What are you going to do, 416? 416 stops, but does not turn around. She pauses for a moment before answering. In that case, it won't hurt to let her try. Goliath just gave up. Was like slightly below half health, and was like, nah. This is a simulation of the Yellow Zone, right? Level 2 really is a fascinating place. Hope you can keep up that positive attitude of yours after you're turned into Swiss cheese. Stop spooking her. Look, she's crashed again. The acceptance test will begin in 5 minutes. There won't be any delays to accommodate for someone's technical issues. Come on. Sorry. There's a lot of information in here. Did I crash again? Yeah. Fortunately, it didn't last long. I'm actually surprised you agreed to take the test, Endoris. I thought you'd be intimidated by how hostile 416 acted back then. I mean, Miss 416 did not actually hurt me. And I still want to give it another try, because someone said this is where I'm needed. You want to carry on with that tea party there, or would you rather hear my briefing on the test? My apologies, Miss 416. Please go ahead. GRG-11 will be your acting teammate for the duration of the test. The objective is to eliminate the fleeing target in the canyon within the time limit. Operating procedure is for you two to figure out. I only care about the result. And you, Miss 416? I am in charge of monitoring, evaluating, and scoring your behaviors. Understood. I'll do my best. Whatever floats your boat. I'll say again, I only care about the result. Having said that, 416 ends the transmission. With her rifle tightly clutched in hand, Endora scans the surroundings. A certain elite T-doll is taking her combat capabilities for granted again. Don't worry, Andoris. It's just an average ambush. There's nothing complicated. Huh. What's your imprint model? It's G36K KSK. Why that one? Is it compatible with you? Why? Because I heard it's similar to Miss Centurisi's G36. If Miss Centurisi is that strong, this one can't be that bad, right? Wait, that's how you came to your conclusion? What should we do now, Miss GRG-11? Right. You stay here and don't move. I'll go behind that big rock at 1 o'clock. Ignore everything else when the enemies arrive and just do as I taught you before. Switch off the safety, aim, and shoot. GRG-11 readies her gear and hurries toward the direction she mentioned. The simulated gale of level 2 blows past her flowing hair, grazing her cheeks with sand grains. But the battle-hardened GRG-11 pays no mind and soon takes her position. Staring at the direction the wind is blowing from, Endora speaks into the communicator. Say, Miss GRG-11, do you think it'll be better if we take the high ground? Eh? Why is that? Because the wind picked up. It's mentioned in the mission intelligence that the enemies are traveling in a jeep. I've seen on TV how that kind of vehicle can kick up a lot of dust even without wind when traveling at high speeds. I think the high ground will give us a better view than this case. The roaring sound of an engine grows ever closer, quickly followed by a jeep and the trail of dust behind it suddenly coming into view. I can't get up here in time. Reposition yourself and coordinate with me, Endoris. Roger. The appropriate position would be, Endoris pauses for a moment and quickly moves in the chosen direction. Then she finds a suitable firing position. I'm in position, Miss GRG-11. Okay, I'll suppress them and drive them towards you. Aim for the cabin once they're within range. Aim for the cabin and fire. Yes, I can do that. Raise the gun, then switch off safety. And next, aim. Doors pierce through the gun sight, only to find the front sight post drifting about. Huh? My body isn't shaking, but why can't I aim properly? Is this the potential liability Mr. Deere mentioned regarding my low compatibility? Initiating backup controls. Doris, they're coming towards you. But backup controls can aim now, or it'll be too late. Ugh. And Doris squeezes on the trigger. The bullet emerges from the muzzle like a shooting star, skimming over the Jeep's roof and heading straight towards G11, who is chasing after the vehicle. Owie! Test over. All participants exit level 2, now. The scene of the yellow zone slowly fades away, replaced by the training ground and 4-4's temporary base. GH11 nervously rubs her head, still shaken by what just happened. Wow, what a shot, Endorse. A clean headshot as well. I guess it's surprisingly accurate from a certain perspective. Again? Can't you process more than one thing at a time? This Andorus is still standing there like a piece of junk. Where's your manager? Get me your manager. Doris's lips twitch briefly before passing into a tight line. A guilt-ridden, heartbroken expression emerges on her face. Give her a break, 416. It's her first time handling a proper firefight. It's only natural for her to be overwhelmed. Look, she knows she made a mistake. Sorry, She may have trouble adjusting. Do you have the same excuse? What? How many times have I told you to survey the battlefield carefully beforehand? Yet somehow you still manage to let a complete newbie teach you a lesson. Come on, I just wanted to get it done. I thought it would be a matter of picking off a few targets, you know, a piece of cake. Eh? And you, zoning out again? Huh? You think causing a blue-on-blue accident is funny? I'm sorry, Miss 416. Neither of you is making this easy. Head to the meeting room and reflect on your actions, then come back later. Come back later? Doris frowns in perplexity. After carefully pondering the meaning of those words, she ultimately decides to ask directly. But are you not going to fire me? As Leva remarked, your in-field observation and intel gathering skills are indeed commendable. Being able to make that kind of judgment as a first-timer is not bad. But you did neglect the most pressing matter, your marksmanship. While completing the mission is important, success shouldn't come at the expense of your teammates, especially if it is pointless. That is the bottom line. And Doris remains silent, simply clutching her gun tightly in hand. Crashed again? No, I didn't crash. I just did not expect Miss 416 to do this. Willingly slow down and wait for me to catch up. Wait for you? Don't get your hopes up. I'm just temporarily cutting you some slack, since I'd be foolish to expect you to catch up immediately. Do not fire blindly before you learn to aim. Got that? Yes, Miss 416. Not Miss 416. Call me leader from now on. Leaving those words behind, 416 immediately walks out of the training ground without looking back. GRG-11 steps over and pats Endorse on the arm. Don't be alarmed, Endorse. 416 might appear intimidating, but she's saying that means you've earned her approval. Congratulations! No, I'm not nervous. Eh? I'm really happy. I think I'm starting to grasp what Miss Leva meant now, Miss GRG11. Leva? What did she say? She said, I'm trying to find a place where I'm truly needed. Not sure what that means either, but I'm super happy to have you join 404. We're teammates from now on. You two are planning to stay here overnight or what? Quit standing around and come. Let's chat about it later. We should really hurry over, otherwise we're toast if she gets angry. Yeah, okay. Doris takes her first step forward stiffly, followed by another, and is then pulled along by GRG11, trotting toward 416, waiting by the meeting room. There are those willing to help her, and those willing to wait for her, so even if she starts a little slowly, it's okay. Regardless of the pace or how far each step advances, ultimately 404 moves forward together. Oh, the way that was worded, that could have been the end of it. Slightly more. Look at this dude. Looking straight out of Zoids. And dead. Well, that would be about it. Thanks for your help, Commander. Looks like your experience when joining 404 was quite the story. Yeah. You seem to have some concerns, Commander. Okay, you can ask me directly. Some of these records aren't from your perspective, huh? Uh-huh. I really can't hide anything from you, Commander. And Doris lifts up her hand and twirls her strand of hair hanging down her face with it. Some of the records are provided by Miss Leva. Of course, it's her. Even when she's assigned elsewhere, Leva is still Leva. Oh, looks like you know her very well, Commander. Indeed, she must have wanted me to be better fit in with 404. I was worried that Leader Klukai only accepted me because she was fed up with all my antics, but after hearing her conversation with McD, I feel like I have a better understanding of her now. She really is compassionate at her core, with a soft heart under her sharp tongue. I've got to pick myself up quickly so that I can ease her worries. I'm also truly indebted to Leva, both for her recommendation and everything she did afterwards. It was also Miss Leva who recognized what I was looking for at first glance. What you're looking for is a place to belong to, right? Yes, Commander. What I sought was not merely a place that tolerates my existence, but one that truly needs me, needs my presence. In 404, everyone is willing to accept my flaws, but I also have what it takes to protect my companions in return. I understand that. Feeling needed and recognized is essential to everyone. Right. After that, I came to the Elmo following 404 and met you, Commander. It's here that I learned the true meaning of belonging. Although 404 still operates independently, everyone has come to regard Elmo as their home. And, Commander, you're also part of the family. Many dolls have found their belonging under you, and I wish to be one of them. Of course you can. I realize that whenever you're around, I feel reassured and comforted, Commander. Even my crashing frequency is decreased. In order to express my gratitude, feel free to call upon me whenever you need assistance, Commander. To me, the sense of truly belonging can only be achieved by helping and supporting each other.
より早く終わりましたね。
Once again, the rest area of 404's temporary base is jam-packed with people. While banners reading 404 development strategy presentation and welcoming Endorse to the team adorn the walls, the rest of the space is decorated with brightly colored balloons floating around. What are you trying to accomplish with all the mess here? Since you gave the go-ahead, I arranged everything according to the standards for a birthday party at the cafe. We're celebrating Miss Endorse joining the team after all. As your way of celebrating tying balloons to GRG11's hair. We weren't able to find anything to tie the balloons down, and GRG11 happened to be sleeping right there. Come on, it's time for you to put on a smiley face. I think it's great that Miss Endorse passed the test and can stay in 404. I have Deer's assistance and 416's acceptance to thank for that. My acceptance is not going to last forever. Your intelligence gathering skills are useful, but you better work on your marksmanship as soon as possible. Prepare for the hellish training sessions that are waiting for you. No problem. Though I'm afraid we'll have to trouble the technicians with more adjustments and fine-tunings then. As it happens, I brought some food over. Please consider this my thank you in advance for everyone's future assistance. Oh, that's so kind of you, Miss Endorse. We'll go have a bite right now. You treat us to your delicious food, and we'll be at your beck and call from now on. That would be wonderful. After the maintenance crew is left, Endorse quietly nudges up to 416. Thank you for keeping me around and turning a blind eye to this welcome party. If not for your leniency, I would be trying my luck with the bounty hunters now. After all, the service industry in the nearby cities is already blacklisted me. No need to thank me. You earned it yourself. In any case, I will cherish my place at 404, as well as this. Doris raises the gun and caresses it lovingly. That thing down. You still need some time to master your fire control core. Additionally, never switch off your safety before entering combat unless you want an accidental discharge to happen. Oh, I didn't notice that. Thank you for pointing it out. Looks like Honduras has already blended in with 404. It seems I was overthinking things. Following the voice, Eleva and Lena, who have continuously been on commissions, show up at the doorway. Wow, a G36K KSK imprint. That's pretty good. 416 really went all out for you. She picked it herself. What are you guys even doing here? Has Namfo finally realized you're a waste of space? Oh my, don't put it like that. How can we possibly be absent at the welcome party of a new 404 member? Though we've split up more often than not these days, Leva and I will always be part of the team. Upon hearing Lena's words, 416's gaze softens slightly. Noticing this, Leva smiles mischievously. Welcome to Squad 404, Endorse. I bet 416 hasn't said that to you yet, huh? I also have your recommendation to thank, Leva. No need to be so formal. After all, it is beneficial for us, too. With you on the team now, 404 will be able to take on more lucrative missions in the future. Already plotting out your little schemes before we're even back to full strength. Oh, by the sound of that, I guess you're for hiring more members. Of course, we have 2 freeloaders taking up space after all. Hey, don't put it so harshly. Even if I don't care, Leva might get upset. Right, I'm super upset now. Who would have thought that after all this time, 416 is so weak that she can't accomplish anything without me or Lena? Most unusually, 416 does not immediately retaliate with words. Leva, Lena, listen carefully to what I'm about to say. You may have your own choices and plans, but 404 will move towards the future as well. And Doris's arrival is but the beginning. 404 will grow stronger than ever before, all under my leadership. Looks like 416 has already taken it upon herself to become the leader without me saying a thing. Perfect then. That saves me a bunch of words. What do you mean? I mean what I said. Seeing 416's orderly expression, Lena quickly chimes in. About not being able to participate in 404's routine commissions. Leva and I have always felt very guilty. We are also well aware that this has caused a lot of inconvenience for you in GRG11. So, in addition to looking for new recruits, we also want to make some adjustments to the squad structure. This has been your wish for a long time, right? I feel like you've been waiting to push the thankless role of the leader onto me for a while now. No. We're not pushing it onto you. We're asking you to take over as the leader of Squad 404. The future of Squad 404 needs you, 416. I mean that sincerely. 416 does not answer directly. Rather looks at Leva standing on the side. Faced with the interrogative gaze, Leva simply nods. As Lena said, Squad 404 is counting on you from now on, 416. Of course, we will also do what's in our power to support the work here. We're not completely leaving you to your own devices. And another thing. Leva deliberately pauses for a second. Go on. I hope you can turn your ambitious words into reality, 416. Keep 404 moving forward and become a force no one dares to challenge. We can safeguard 404 together, right? Leva sets aside her usual slyness, letting her sincerity reach 416 clearly and unmistakably. As a result, all anxiety and unease regarding 404's future buried in 416's mind suddenly vanish. Unlike a certain irresponsible former leader, I never make empty promises. Even with you sitting around doing nothing, 404 will not collapse. What are you guys babbling about? Woken up by the commotion, GRG11 walks over while yawning. Ava and Lena's here? What's with all the balloons tied to your hair, GRG11? That looks so weird. Huh? After pulling on and failing to untie the balloons, GRG11 gives up. All the while, Doris patiently helps her untangle the mess. It's official now. 416 is the leader of Squad 404. And more dolls will be joining us in the future. Does that mean Leva and Lena will be leaving? No way. You won't leave even if you want to kick us out. 404 will always be our home. Ooh. But wait. Well, 416 with 416 as the leader now, wouldn't my life be even more difficult than before? You should be glad you finally had the opportunity to crawl toward the goal of becoming an elite doll now. GRG11 grimaces with an expression of unbearable anguish. Oh no, she's messing with GRG11 again. Speaking of, with our new beginning, perhaps you two should take this opportunity to consider new code names. Look, both Leva and I got new ones. Even Doris kept her old name as her code name. So complicated. Having to think of a new name and all that. Can't I just use whatever that comes up? I'll give you a new code name later. As for me, I've already got one. What is it? Hurry up and tell us. Klukai. Klukai. Does it mean anything in particular? Having been watching from the sidelines the whole time, Leva narrows her eyes and ponders for a moment before breaking into a smile. A cognate of crocodile, huh? Well, the ambitious and provocative name. Quite the ambitious and provocative name. That's just a name I used in the past. Nevertheless, the crocodile's sharp teeth will tear the lion's throat wide open one day. Wow, so scary. While crocodiles rule the water, don't tell me you don't know their ability to fight is handicapped on land, Klukai. Not when I drag your pretentious ass into the water with me. Oh, you can certainly give that a try. A war without gunfire breaks out as Klukai and Leva engage in a heated exchange. Here we go again. My. Everyone seems to get along. You're really quick to adapt, Endoris. Well, this is 404 after all, our eternal home and family. In the march of time, Squad 404 takes another step forward, one that uniquely belongs to them. The non-existent, forsaken squad stranded in limbo will continue to justify their existence together with the most unconventional attitude. Nice. Okie doke. Alright. Well, I think I'm going to end the stream there, and then I will be doing another stream for the third and final part of this event story in the near future, ideally. It probably won't be tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Play it by ear. And anyways, thank you guys for joining once again. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever the heck it is. And I'll see you next time.